All right, we are live. Tapping Birdie, Mexico Open week, one of the biggest weeks of this season. I'm here with my good friend Jay Kinney, golf Twitter legend. Everyone loves you. Doesn't matter if you're a live bot or some other guy. Everyone loves Jay. So I'm glad you can make your tip appearance for the Mexico Open this week.
BK, it's a pleasure to be here. Glad you're still having me on, even without posting videos this year. Still love interacting with Golf Twitter. A lot of great folks there, so happy to be here tonight.
I mean, it truly is the best. I mean, the amount of friends I've gotten from golf Twitter, the people I've met, it really is great. And it is fun to have, your group of people that, you talk about the upcoming week with, recap the week with. And, just quick shout out to golf Twitter because you're one of the many people that have, we've become friendly. We text about 311 and not Outback Steakhouse, Texas Roadhouse. So, there's a lot of great people on golf Twitter. I'm sure there's a lot of great people watching tonight as well. So happy to be joined by you.
Yeah, I mean, shout out Golf Twitter for sure. Shout out 311. I texted you, kind of hit or miss on TGL, but once I heard they were playing down by 311 when Ricky hit that par three shot, I'm so back in on TGL.
You're back in. Like, it was tough. You weren't sure if you were fully committed to the TGL. I actually, I'm not a huge 311 fan, but I don't even know the song down. Is that bad of me? Is that
Yeah,
famous of a song?
one of their most popular, probably. I know you're a big Amber guy, so it's okay.
Yeah, Amber, I think Love Song is definitely my favorite 311
Yeah, of course.
song, but like that's without a doubt. But yeah, I think Jay Kinney started when you tweeted that photo in like the matching outfit and you said like just texted a girl playing 311 like that. And that moment I was like, no, Jay's like the man. Like that's when we knew that Jay was something special out here. So
Had like seven too many cocktails for my birthday. Threw on a nice matching set, and shot my shot, I suppose.
I'm sorry, I genuinely completely forgot to wear my Hakeem Olajuwon jersey. Like, I did not think about it until I saw you. I'm guessing that is a fucking Charles Barkley jersey.
No, actually, Kevin Durant wore it in honor of his 30,000 that he just went by. Also, love the video circulating around today of him crying, talking about how much basketball means to him. We love a man in touch with his emotions.
Of course.
So good things all around. And he's going back to his alma mater. They're actually playing against the Spurs in Austin on Thursday. So big week for KD.
So are you a big KD guy? Are you?
He's my second favorite player of all time.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I love bucket getters. So Carmelo Anthony's number one, and then KD's number two in my book.
Well, yeah, I like getting a retro jersey of somebody when they weren't on the team when they had those jerseys. Like, that is a sick jersey. You rocked that at a Darty in college in 2017. Like, women are flocking to you, like, without a doubt. So I have my one Hakeem Olajuwon jersey. Who is one of your favorites? I know that as well.
Yes,
He is your.
he's in my top five. Yeah,
I didn't even know that. As well. So I apologize about the no jersey tonight. I hope we could still do a show.
it's okay. We'll still get into it.
And I do appreciate anyone who's taking their time out of watching the TGL to be here tonight. I know we were texting a little bit about it before. Tiger snap hooking one into the woods, not getting out of a bunker, missing like a five. Like, it's a tough night for Tiger, and I do think it's very funny how no one really knows how to react when he does something wrong in the TGL. Like, everyone's very awkward about it.
Yeah, not great. Also, no one has a ball mark for Jupiter. They're all out of sorts this evening. Not good at all.
Just, like, it's a true how did BCG lose to this team. It's definitely one of those, like, in college basketball when you're looking back at the resume and they're a bubble team. It's like, well, they lost to, Jupe Links. Like, we just can't let him into the tournament. So I do think that will be a big wear on their resume come tournament time.
Big time. Speaking of tournament time, your Johnny's playing some ball, right?
Johnnies are playing some ball. We're very happy with the Johnnies. My parents were at the game Sunday. Would have been there, but I was out in LA. I'll be at the Big East tournament. I'll be seeing them playing on that Thursday. So sweet 16 or bust. I think anything other than that would be a big disappointment. But there's not many college teams to root for around here. So I'm happy for Rick Pitino and the Johnnies because they're definitely one of my favorite college teams, and my mom's been a fan for a long time. So I'm happy with the Johnnies this year. Should be a fun tournament.
I love it. Yeah, much better than my Hoosiers. So
Yeah,
good for you.
it's tough. Just tough out here for the Indiana Hoosiers. So Genesis last week at Torrey Pines. I made the trip out to LA. It's becoming sort of an annual thing. I gotta say, I really enjoyed myself at the course on Saturday. It was absolutely humming with people. I did not think the crowds would be that big considering, it hosted a tournament, 3 weeks ago. And I didn't know how many San Diegans, were going to come out, every single week for it. But it was absolutely swamped on Saturday. And I think that really just shows that when you have these, elevated events and the best players in the world show up, that's what really drives people to, the course and show up. And, when it's Harris English and someone like battling down the stretch, like, it's really hard for people to, get amped up for it. So, obvious, but, I just think the juxtaposition kind of between Torrey hosting the Farmers and Torrey hosting the Genesis, that is what the PGA Tour is now. But I want to see kind of more of these tournaments get the elevated status. Pebble's great, Travelers is great, RBC's great, but I kind of want it to be spread around a little bit more. What are your kind of thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I had a blast watching on TV all weekend to have that many names on the leaderboard on Sunday. My guys, Tony, Tommy, Cantlay, were all at -4. You had the big name chasers, Scotty and Rory at 3, right? So many names that you thought could make a move and just made it that much more exciting. So I can only imagine, kind of the buzz that you had at the course, actually.
Yeah, no, and great viewing experience. Kind of saw Ludd. I was like adjacent to the Ludd hole in one, like right behind it. But there was like a spotter on the left rough, and he like jumped up when it happened. I'm like, oh, someone just chipped in, and then they're like, no, like Ludd straight up just dunked one. And then like Scotty Scheffler's dad came over. He started talking to my friend unprompted. We were chatting up with him. We're like, he knew we were East Coast guys, and I'm like, why aren't there more events on the East Coast? He's like, I was talking to Jay Monahan about it, and he was name dropping Jay. That was very funny, but just great day out there on the course. At these events, always a lot of really attractive women at these golf events, and normally they are taken like they're with their boyfriends. But just for viewing sake, and especially in San Diego, especially in Southern California, very attractive women at golf events typically. That is an underrated perk as a single dude going to these things.
Well, when Tom Kim takes 5 minutes to hit a shot, you need somewhere else to look for a little bit. So
Exactly.
that usually helps.
100%.
Did you talk to Mr. Scheffler and let him know how much you hate his son?
I
Or like
did.
how much you trash him on Twitter?
I'm very cordial with Mr. Scheffler. I've never disclosed to him the amount of pain his son has caused me. I think even when I was talking to him at the Travelers, I don't even think I disclosed that I had a massive ticket on Tom Kim and I was expecting your son to, kill me. But no, I'm very cordial with him. I would not, bring that up.
A touch of class per usual from BK.
Yeah. It's I'm very respectful. But then Sunday, obviously, did not have a great card. Had really no one to track on Saturday. No outrights to sweat, and we kind of saw Mav get in at -3. I think he started the day at, and literally Saturday night into Sunday morning. At no point did I ever even remotely think that Maverick McNeely had a chance to win this golf tournament in our live. And I know there are a lot of people that, if their guys even remotely, no, he has a chance, he's live, I'm usually like, no, they're fucking deader than Jimmy Hoffa. Like if you asked me Saturday night, what's up with Matt, I wouldn't have even given it a single thought. I didn't even know he made a 40-footer for par and one. Me and my buddy are like getting breakfast with his girlfriend. We're like watching on the thing, tapping birdie on two. Then next, like 6 for him. He can make that, makes it. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. He's making some putts, makes like a 7-footer. I'm like, holy fuck, like we got to go to the course right now. Like Mav is in this right now. That was true, and this is what I'm upset about. Not really. That was one of the best rounds of golf I've ever seen, totally unbiased.
Amazing. Yeah.
He was striping every single thing. His driver just nuking this like tight draw. He was flushing his irons. He was putting so well. And he steps up on 14 and has a wedge in hand, really tough pin location. Should have just played a safe shot and just chunked one into the bunker, made bogey. And that was ultimately the difference in the tournament. Ludwig in a similar spot, steps up, hits it to 4 feet, makes birdie there. 2-shot swing on that hole. But I was very upset, as, most people are when, an outright comes in second. And I know he was dead to start the day. But when a guy is minus 300 with like 3 holes to play on the PGA Tour, they typically win. It's not like early Saturday he had a lead. I thought he was going to win. Like when you get to the back nine on a Sunday, you could usually tell who wins. Beats everybody by 2 other than Ludwig. Ludwig drinks a 40-footer, makes one on 18, plays in a crazy shot on 14. Really, really frustrating. It hasn't been a great year thus far. And for Mav to win, not that many people were on him. Everyone was online. It took me a little bit to process that. I was just drinking through the pain, as I'm sure you've been there before.
Many a times, yes. That's what I was going to say. It basically was you versus the rest of the internet at that point, because it seemed like this was maybe the biggest community win, per se of the year.
I think more people are on Sep, but definitely a lot of people are on Lud. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, what hole did you actually start to think like, hey, he might keep this up and might
after he birdied 10, I spent the money. After he birdied 13, I think, the par 3. Then I bought a boat, wrote the check for it. Like money was spent. I think he was the favorite after he birdied 10. So at that point, yeah, I really thought he could. But after 13, I seriously, and after he birdied the par 5, he was like minus 300. And everyone, I forgot about Ludwig, and CBS dropped him.
So that's what I was gonna say. Watching on television, and I don't know that I ever really complain about coverage. I'm very much hey, I'm grateful I have 2 different TVs to watch on golf, etc. Right? Like we shouldn't complain about this, but like they didn't show him at all. They didn't show his approach on 14. It's like, and then you're obviously I'm on my phone tracking and looking at odds and stuff, and he's coming up. It's like, what's happening?
That was my fault, because I hate looking at my phone when I have an outright sweat. Because I don't want to see something on Twitter. I don't want someone to text me. I don't want someone in the Discord saying some stupid shit. So I don't like to look at my phone, really. I don't like to be on it. And I'm like nervous. Like I don't. So I never really was tracking the live odds hard. And I didn't hedge, but I don't care about not hedging, because when Ludwig was at plus 400 or something, I never would have hedged in that moment because I thought Mav was winning. Like I usually only hedge where it's like it's 2 guys, and I didn't hedge before he made that long one on 13 or 14, and then it was over. But more so Ludwig, I will hand up. I'm glad he got his big win. He needed it. I think some people might consider me like a Ludwig hater or something. Like I really think last summer, when he was in that 14 to 16 range for, the Travelers and the Scottish Open and, some other big events, that's when I really had issue with it, was just like, I don't really agree with these odds. I don't really think he should be this low given his resume. And obviously, played great at the Masters, played great at the US Open, but I was just out on it at those numbers. The fact that, he was available 25 plus last week, that was an excellent bet. That was a unbelievably good bet for his talent, and that was kind of the range he should have been in. And I understand books have, they can't just put anyone at anyone odds, but I have zero beef, and it was a great bet for Ludwig to win at 25, 22, even 30. I know he ballooned up to, as we would say, on
Well, you could have
bookmaker
probably
for a
boosted him
time.
to like 32, right?
No, I had Ludwig at 42.9 to 1, boosted, enhanced with a free play, averaged the odds out a little bit. So tough Sunday, but it was nice to have an outright sweat again. And then, when the bookie texts me this morning, send 400 my way, that's when it really hurts. Because it should have been the other way around. But we move on, and I'm not gonna say we're gonna hit a winner in Mexico, but I would hope to hit one. I would hope we could get someone in the mix, someone doing something in Mexico this week. But I know how random golf is, and how you know that's at the end of the day, you can't get upset. If you have a bad card or you don't hit an outright or it doesn't fall your way, because when you win, it's random. When you lose, it's random. And yeah, we could say course fit model, odds. It's very random, as I'm
Well,
sure you know.
yeah, I mean, we've been doing this for years, and yeah, we can look at all the stats and course history and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you don't know who's sick because everyone was on Ludwig, prior at Torrey, and who's not, or who's injured. All that stuff. It's random. Who's hot. So yeah, it is kind of funny to think that we put in all this time and effort and care and all that
Yeah,
into this, and then you just never know what's going to happen. But it is always fun, like you said, when you have a sweat like that down the
nothing
stretch.
better.
Just yeah, no, that's why we do it, just
Yeah,
for that sweat. So
yeah, no, but great time in LA. We hung out with Andy. RK pulled up. Shout out RK. Shout out Andy. We had a great night together. Had some beers. Dude, my buddy lives in Hermosa Beach. After we go out, go for a walk along the boardwalk, get some beers. Hundreds of people playing volleyball, surfing, walking, getting drinks. It's perfect 70 degrees out. It's like, why wouldn't I live here? My hand almost fell off pumping gas this afternoon. It feels like 10 degrees in New York, and I'm sure it's cold as well where you are in India. What are we doing not out in Southern California? It's
I
amazing.
I'm very much a seasonal depression guy. As everyone knows, I love the pool. I love the tanning bed. Yeah, going to the Los Angeles Fitness this morning, it was 6 degrees out. That's no fun at all. I hate it so much. I ask myself all the time why I live in Indiana, but yet I'm still here. I am going down to Florida on Friday. I always visit my folks for a couple
Hell yeah.
weeks. So on my Florida swing,
So will
which is
will
nice to
you
break up the winter time a little bit.
will you pre-tan for Florida so you're not pale when you're down there, or you're just going down there and
Oh
tanning?
yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay. That's great.
So
That's
yeah,
great.
I try not to get into the tanning beds too much because it's not the best for you. But just, I mean, honestly, just makes you feel better too. Let alone like getting a little base in for
Yeah.
Florida. So
Yeah. No, well, I'm glad you're
winter's the worst.
and it's I don't know about you, and not to talk about weather on Tib, but the weathers have been pretty easy in on Long Island the past couple of years, and this year it's just really tough, but it's okay. And family not out there in California. It's nice to be by your family and everything, but I could definitely use like 2 months in LA. Like, I mean, it's just a magical place to live. And I like beach volleyball. Like, go out, play beach volleyball, get some beers, go play some like. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's a great place to live. Like, you got me.
What's the better choice on the beach?
What? Just any light beer. Yeah, just Coors Light, Miller Light. So I was drinking some like local LA Corona. I'm a light beer guy. I can't do liquor. I know you're a liquor guy.
Tito's water lime.
Tito, water? Why not the carbonation?
I'm already bubbly enough as it is. Don't need
Okay,
any
you
more
don't need
bubbles.
any
Yeah.
more bubbles. Yeah, my thing with the liquor is that like I'm gonna drink it fast, kind of regardless. So I know if I drink a bunch of beer, I'm not gonna get too drunk. Like I can't get that drunk off beer. But if I was going out like, oh, I'm drinking liquor tonight, and I'm like gonna be out for an extended period of time, it's hard for me to pace myself and keep it chill. So I just stick with the light beers. It's not good for the waistline. That's why you're so fit and cut. because you're drinking the vodka waters all the time. But it's just something I can't do, and it's tough to bring out. If I'm going to a buddy's house and we're drinking, I'm gonna like bring a fifth and like a
Yeah,
seltzer
you're
and
not
some
gonna bring a
wine.
handle.
It's
Yeah.
tough. It's tough out here. Um, TGL yesterday I was watching on the flight. I'd like to talk about it quickly. I'm not paid by the TGL. I'm not paid like other people on the internet to promote and talk about TGL, but I've been enjoying it, and it's not changing the golf landscape. It's not this revolutionary thing, but like I've said before on this pod, match play is fun. Watching the best golfers in the world hit shots is fun. The competition and the you have X putt to win X hole and all that is fun. And I like seeing these guys in the flesh, and I'm enjoying it. And I think yesterday was a big turning point for TGL a little bit. I'm not going to say changes everything because I don't know how many people are spending their President's Day watching. But what are your thoughts on TGL? Like, what percent are you in? 10 out of 10? Like your Danny
So
Rapp? Like
I,
one
I
out
was
of 10?
probably I was probably a 0 out of 10 to begin with. Whatever week it opened, whatever night that was, I was busy, so I didn't get to tune in. So then I tuned in week 2, which was Tigers week, and I think I turned it off after 3 or 4 holes. That's when Kiz was making a mockery of everything. I'm not a Homa guy either, so him and Kiz are like two of my least favorites. So to have those
You
two
don't like
there,
Max Homa?
not really.
Wow,
Doesn't do
that's
anything for me.
surprising.
I think it might just be because his association with like the foreplay guys and whatnot. I never really got into their
Okay,
content.
okay.
But yeah, so I think I turned it off after 3 holes and then hadn't watched until yesterday. But obviously, triple header, I'm going to have it on. And it got exciting, and I might be dipping my toes back in. So then I turned it on again tonight. Heard him playing 311 for Ricky, and might be back in.
Yeah. No, I genuinely like yesterday, like Tommy Fleetwood holding out, JT chipping in, like honestly seeing Ludwig the day after he won, like still be amazing. Like I thought that was really fun. And I think you're a fan of him. Big Dub, Windy C, he's carrying the show. I mean, the guy doesn't
He's
shut
been
up.
impressive, and he's entertaining. Had some good sound bites, and then I love my boy the Glove. I don't know actually
I'm a
how
big
he
Glover
how
guy
he
as
made it
well.
in, but yeah. Well, so I was actually going to ask you, who are like your favorite golfers? Because I feel like most we know all the guys you don't like. Other than the postman, who do you like?
Posty, obviously, I like Posty. I do like Wyndham Clark. Um, he kind of putting me on the spot. Like I don't like I like Xander. Like I think Xander is a great guy. I like him. I kind of like JT. Um, I like Hovland, but I don't have like my guy is probably Posty to be completely
Yeah,
honest. Novak obviously saw him at Farmers. I mean at Torrey. I was like Andy Noves like gave him a fist pound. Had no clue who I was. Like literally, I'm like I wasn't gonna. He was chatting up Tommy Fleetwood, chatting him
love
up,
it.
like just biting his ear off. I'm like Andy Noves gave him the fit. So Andy Noves and Keegan, definitely Keegan top 3. So I'll go Keegan, Posty, Keegan, Posty, Hovland. I think those would be my top 3. I wish Hovland was playing a little bit better, but I'm still a fan, and I do think he's gonna turn it around.
Yeah, he's got too much talent to not turn it around. He just needs to quit messing with his swing every
Yeah,
6 months or whatever.
yeah. I don't normally say this, but he might be too much of a bachelor. Like he is probably one of the biggest bachelors on the PGA Tour. Like maybe he just needs a woman to like settle him down a little bit. Like
I think
have
that's
some.
probably why my golf game struggles too, huh?
It's tough out here. We're some single dudes out here. We're struggling to break 90. Sometimes they're not good for a lot always, but maybe just having some closure on the golf course could be a good thing. So I think big things will come for Hovland this year, even though he miscut for me last week. I'm down to talk some Mexico Open. You know, PGA Tour has been on a really nice run recently, really since the start of the year. I mean, even Amex has become a really solid field. Sony, I think, you know, it's not a great field, but the guys you want at that event play it, and it's good for like golf gamblers because there's a lot of options to choose from, and the field's not terrible. But Mexico Open, I truly, there's not much to get up and be excited for. But these are the weeks you kind of need on the PGA Tour, because we had so many good events in a row, and so many of these top players were playing every single week. You know, we kind of need a little bit of a break from that.
Yeah, and I think it'll be nice to see some of the random guys that we haven't really got to see, and shine some light on them, because you never know who the next big guy is, or the next up and coming guy. To take Knapp, for instance, last year, right? He was still only going off at like 40 or 45 last year when a bunch of people hit him. But like he wasn't a household name by any means. So for him to kind of get that breakthrough, it's great to see. So I mean, it's
a lot of these Corn Ferry guys, DP World Tour guys, don't get starts early in the year. There's only so many events they can kind of play in. So I do think it is, a decent week if you know all these golfers and everything. But it is tough, at a certain point, because it's tough to really trust the guys at the top of the board, and that's kind of the strategy I kind of went with this week. I just kind of wanted to take some more shots down the board because I think this is obviously one of the most wide open events of the year. And, if you're going to, tell me I have to bet Harry Hall at 30-1 or, Taylor Moore 25-1, like that's just a tough ask. For me. So that's kind of how I'm attacking the week. What are your thoughts? I know you haven't finalized your card just yet. Are you trying to take some more shots on the board, or you want like a big gun up top?
So, I want to talk through this with you. In general, I'm very much a vibes guy. I'm not running models and things. So usually I think I just go, hey, Akshay's my favorite player in the field. Let's just bite the bullet on him, take a couple guys way down deep and call it a day. That being said, 14-1, I just don't think I can do it. And then you look at the next guys, whether it's Kitty, P-Rod, Sammy Steves, etc. Do you want those guys at 22 either? That's kind of what I'm grappling with right now. It's like, do I want a Rogers? Do I want a Jaeger? Or do I want to start 40 and below and just take a bunch of shots like you did?
Yeah, I mean, I personally think Akshay 14, the amount of capital you're going to have to put up to invest in it to make it worthwhile when that money could really be used elsewhere, on guys that can easily win. I'm not saying they have an equal chance, but, what happened if Akshay, flew, like we're talking about, what happened if Akshay is sick? What happened if he flew in late? Like, and he's been playing a decent amount. Because he played Waste. He played Waste. So this third week in a row, it could be 4. I don't know off the top of my head, but he's played a decent amount in a row. I just think your money is more well spent on other guys down the board, 30 to 100-1.
Well, especially, when all these guys are of kind of the same talent pool. I do enough of the, hey, I'm just going to bet, Kawa, Cantlay, and Tony up top and call it a day. And then you got your guys like Seth or Harris English or whoever winning tournaments at 60, 100. Yeah. This probably feels like a tournament to take more shots.
Yeah, so I know you said you liked Akshay, but kind of in the 18 to 30-1 range. Rasmus, again, to me, I know he's very good, and I know he played well at Waste, but, I mean, the guy finished dead last week at 40-1, and I was kind of out on his price last week because I just didn't think he did enough to prove it. Obviously, it could be a bounce back spot. Didn't have to spend the whole week there, but you're putting a lot of eggs in a basket of a guy that, you didn't really know. Stevens, he's played 7 weeks in a row. I don't know if you knew that.
Really? No, was unaware of that.
Are you in or out on a golfer playing 7 weeks in a row?
I'm way out. I can't play 7 holes in a row.
Okay, it's 7 weeks in a row is kind of crazy.
I mean, it's 2 months basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think for that reason, it's not worth an outright bet. I do think it's a good course for him, but I'm not there. Patrick Rogers, definitely let down spot. Kitty, can't putt. I'm out. Taylor Moore, I like, sure, but 25-30-1, I think I'm going to have to be out on that.
Yeah, Jaeger's the one there with that, 18 to 30, I guess, the one I was looking at hard, but haven't pulled the trigger yet. He was terrible on the greens last week. I think he lost damn near 7 strokes. But otherwise, I mean, good course history here. So that was the one where it's like, if I do want to go up top, it's
Yeah.
probably Jaeger. But that also feels bad where it's like you probably could have had a 35 and now it's down to 25. And
Yeah.
that just makes you feel bad usually.
Yeah, I like
Sometimes you need
Jaeger
to
as
bite
well.
the
I don't
bullet.
think Jaeger is a bad bet at all. And I think with a guy like Jaeger, who's in all the signature events, he won last year. I think he's top 50 in the world. He's here because he thinks this is a good golf course for him. He's not, trying to get reps, trying to get FedEx Cup points. Obviously, he is, but given his course history, I always kind of like that. A guy that doesn't have to be playing the event. Yates must know, this is a place I could just bomb driver every single hole, and that's, I feel like, kind of the courses he plays really well on. So, the number is tough, but I definitely don't hate Steffi Yates this week at all. I gotta say, are you surprised by this Rye downfall? I
I
mean,
think I bet him the year that Tony won at like 60 or whatever. I guess I honestly haven't really thought much about him or heard much about him this year.
he was like literally amazing during the summer. He obviously won Wyndham, but he was on a
Yeah.
really, really good stretch of golf. And for him to be, if you told me after Wyndham that he would be like 35-1 in this field, I would really be surprised. And I think that, at least from my experience, I feel like there's a lot of guys that get their first win on the PGA Tour and they really fall off for a little bit. Like Stefan Jaeger a little bit. Obviously Aaron Rye, like Jake Knapp, Davis Thompson. All those guys that won last year that are like solid players, mid-tier players, they're not, and obviously, they're playing for their ceiling and everything, but that's kind of something I've noticed. And obviously Mav could have won last week, but and I know he's been playing fine, but I would put Mav into that category as well. That's sometimes it just takes these guys a little bit to get back on the train.
Rye won't have Billy Horschel rooting him on
Yeah,
here
that
either.
was
So
amazing. That was easily one of my favorite. Got like Aaron Rye tees off on 16 and Billy in the background. Get up, get up. That was amazing. That was truly unbelievable. And Billy also I'll put in top 5 favorite golfer. Love Billy. Billy's a great
okay,
guy. Big fan of Billy.
go
Would like
Gators.
to hit him. Would like to hit him at one point in my life, but I'm in on him. Jake Knapp, most tipped repeat winner. I'm not sure I'm there, to be honest.
Yeah, he was fine last week. At the 55, I guess it probably would have made some
40
more
worst
sense,
bet in the
but
world.
40, yeah,
That's always a joke with my buddies. Like 55, like legitimately greatest bet of all time. 40, like might as well burn your money on fire. That is the worst bet I've ever heard.
just I mean, back to back defending title, it just doesn't feel right.
No. Yeah, 55 is a good number, but I don't think it will mean anything at the end of the week. So I'm out. I bet. Did I know who this guy was 3 months ago? No. Nicholas Neugaard. I got like 45-1 on him. He's played 3 PGA Tour events in his career, but this was a really good DP World Tour golfer last year. He had like 7 top 10s. He won the Betfred British Masters. Shout out Golf Betting Tips. They don't just hand out trophies there. Okay, you got to have some gall to win that tournament. He absolutely pipes it off the tee, and I think he's a really solid player. Like I said, I didn't know who he was a couple months ago. Doesn't matter. I'm in. Neugaard. He's also jacked. Last 3 winners of this event have also been very muscular. They've also been tall. Gotta have tall golfers at the Mexico Open. He's also tall as well. So Neugaard, I'm in on this week. Anybody you like in the kind of the 50 to 60-1 range?
My first bet came at 40. RK's boy, Kevin Yu. I bet him last week. No, I bet him last week at 200. So, got to see it through for a couple of weeks. Again, a bomber, drives at 315 or whatever. A couple top 20s in a row, I believe, as well. It just really all depends on the flat stick with him. But, we'll take our chances.
Shout out RK and Kevin Yu. Him and Kyle always talk about him. And I'm not a huge fan of his, but I respect the game. I respect what he's doing out here. And 40-1, I don't think is It's a bad number, so no real beef there. Alex Smalley's been popping in everyone's
I was
models.
gonna say everyone loves him from what I've seen. Yeah.
Everyone's on Smaller this week. I don't know if he can close out the deal. Not that many people in the field can, but I'm out.
He just seems like the most like generic golfer on tour.
Total creative
If
golfer.
right,
Total
yeah.
NPC, like non-playing character on the PGA Tour. He's just there, like totally made up in a lab. He's not a real guy.
I believe he was first round leader last year, right?
No, EVR was first round leader here
Okay. He was
last
up
year.
on he was up on the
He's
leaderboard.
played well here before. He's played
I
well.
watched all of the greatest thing about YouTube. You can see anything, right? Watched all of Tony's shots from. Oh, so Smalley, I think might have been 2023.
Okay, he mixed hard here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, he likes the course, but no, I'm probably just not going to get there.
I bet EVR 65-1. EVR is a guy not playing the best golf, admittedly, but he's a guy that I trust to win. He's won twice on the PGA Tour. I feel like he has some win equity in this field. He was first round leader here last year. He finished 8th. He's played this event the last 2 years, hit the ball really well on approach. Has some good finishes at WGC Mexico, 3rd in 2020. I mean, guy lives for Mexico. He won at the Worldwide Technology. This is a talent number play, win equity play. Is he playing great? No. But I think maybe he could just, catch lightning in a bottle and bet him. So I'm in on EVR this week.
Yeah, I don't mind that one bit. I mean, so long as he stays away from the water, like you said, and he's got some wins. He plays good on comp courses. So EVR makes complete sense for, a seasoned veteran like that at, middle of the board there.
Yeah. Do you know who Alger is?
I know the Model Maniac loves him, right? And I know he can bomb it. But that's about all I know about him.
Yeah, he's like a 20-year-old South African dude that
he's pretty chubby, right?
Yeah, he's fat. He's fat. And he just absolutely nukes the ball. Like just absolutely crazy. I know he's very popular this week. No beef on the potted GG bet, as Kyle likes to call him. I think he's a solid player. I don't even think 70's that bad of a number. He contended at Torrey a couple weeks ago, and that was obviously the blueprint for Jake Knapp to get his win here. And I think a lot of people pointed to Jake Knapp's whatever T9 finish at Torrey for him to be on this week. So I do think that Torrey success is a bit of a something to look at. So I don't think I'm going to get there, but I respect the bet. I want you to be in on Carson Young this week.
So that was one of the guys on my short list that I wanted to talk to you about. So if you're there, I am. Couple top 10s at the Worldwide Technology, right?
Yeah. Runner-up finish there. Had a 3rd at Puerto Rico. Finished 5th at John Deere this year. He got to go low there. Had an 8th here last year. Like, he does really well in these low-scoring events. And, I'm not really sure why or how. I know Andy interviewed him for his pod a couple months ago. And he said he's more like a shorter, accurate guy, whatever. I like the comp course history here with him. I like him for a first round leader. That just sounds right. Carson Young being first round leader here. He's won in Panama, like basically same thing. That's one of my favorite things with these Mexico resort weeks. It's like anything south of Texas is just like literally same thing.
Corrales, Butterfield, yeah.
Bermuda, literally same thing. Like doesn't matter. So I'm in on him. I'm hoping you could ride.
Carson Young, TIB collab play of the week.
Collab play of the week, like not even a question.
How do you feel about Thorbjornsen? Because I'm in on him at 65, kind of like you are with EVR on the number on the seasoned veteran. It's more of a number bet on talent play. Again, all I know is he can hit it pretty far, but rather be early than late, I suppose.
Yeah, he just hasn't been great this year. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
But he finished runner-up at John Deere over the summer. and had a really good back-to-back weeks at the Sanderson and RSM Classic. Like, he obviously is very talented. I don't know if something's going on with him. I don't hate the bet at all. I do think that he is playing well. And John Deere, I don't think it's a perfect comp, but a place where you got to pin your ear back and make a ton of birdies, like, no beef with the bet there with Thor Bjornsson. I wish he's been a little bit better this year. But any interest in Patty Fish?
So that was another one I assumed you were going to bring up, and I wanted to get your honest take on that as well.
He was just on Powers' pod. He's
Oh,
missed 3
nice.
cuts in a row, and he said he was at Disney with his family, like maybe getting some perspective. But I mean, this is a Patty Fish course. Just go out there and hit driver, with reckless abandon, and just go make a bunch of birdies. I think that kind of is his foray. I've weirdly enough, for no reason at all, been on his 2 best finishes on the PGA Tour. Like, I don't know why. So gotta be there if he's ever gonna win, and he might need me to play well.
Well, you know how happy it made me. What was it, Sony, right? Where you're tweeting out the fish emoji and then the fire emoji.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I want to see more of that this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, and you want to tweet that too if he's in contention.
Of course, yes.
It's a great fish fire emoji. Yeah. Like, it gets people going for certain. Not even a question. There, Rico Hoey. My friends like him. Missed a bunch of cuts in a row. Kind of sucks at golf. But I bet him. I don't have any real reason why I bet Rico Hoey, but I'm in. And any thoughts on Rico Hoey?
We call him Dr. Rico, me and my friends, because we had a kid in our class that we called Dr. Rico back in the day. I was on him when he was in that 5-man playoff at the Barbasol. Yeah, with Harry Hall.
So you might have some unfinished business there with him.
Yeah. How about your boy from New Jersey, Chris Gotterup? Any thoughts there?
I bet him.
Okay, yeah. And okay, so we're swimming around the same waters then.
I was thinking about Gotterup, and then I read Ben Coley's write-up. It was very good. Ben's a very good rider. His write-up was very good. But yeah, Gotterup, I mean, he's a PGA Tour winner. He won last year. He nukes the ball off the tee. He has some good results on similar courses. He's 80-1. Yeah, he's like playing like shit, but everyone in this field is playing like
good
shit.
At the Farmers a couple weeks ago.
He's good at the Farmers.
Good off the tee.
Blueprint. But yeah, he's had solid results. And 7th at Puerto Rico, boom, done. Like,
sold.
I mean,
and he's always got the chain banging too, which I appreciate.
Yeah, for sure. He's a Jersey guy. Like, people from Jersey love going down to Texas. I mean, to Mexico to party. So that's again, 80-1. If you're betting anyone over 60-1 this week, like, they're probably not that good at golf.
Right.
Like, so it's tough. Like, I don't, I can't come on here and tell you all these crazy things. Like, they're probably not playing good at all. Anyone else? I'm swimming around Hayden Springer, but anyone else you kind of like?
I'm looking at Vinny Norman.
Yeah, don't hate.
He's made all his cuts this year. I've played him in DFS some. Good off the tee. Gained a bunch at the Farmers, 4.5 strokes. So that's one I'm looking at 100. Then I bet 2 more way down the board.
Like, just complete.
One's Valimaki, which I think a lot of guys are on at 200. Just big number.
Last year.
Yeah, that's an easy play. And then my guy at 300, David Lipsky. If you want some comp courses, 2 top 10s at the Worldwide Technology, T9 at Corrales, and a T6 here in 2022.
Wow.
140-1 on the 130-1 on the first round leader as well.
And so he's on the FRL card.
And outright, yeah. Okay. I'm on Lipsky.
No beef with the bet. He is I don't know who tweeted it before. It might have been Model, actually. But, like, total boomer bust guy. Yeah. My group chat popping off right now. I can see it in my phone. I'm in on Jay Kinney if he likes Lipsky this week.
There you go.
I mean, Lipsky seems to be a popular play this week.
Well, I like first round leader too, because he was first round leader at the Fortinet what,
Good
couple months
call.
back?
Good call.
Yeah.
That's good golf knowledge there. I knew it was the Pro Core, but that was great. That was a great pull there.
Oh yeah, they did change the name, huh?
Yeah, that is. I was with my buddies. We were like hanging out all weekend, and I was obviously talking a lot about golf. She's like, "Is there anything like you don't know about?" And I was like, "If there's, I would put very few people up against my PGA Tour knowledge on things that have happened over the past 5 years, events, winners, this, that. Like that is my expertise. I could probably name every single major champion winner since like 2006 ish, like pretty easily. I'm pretty good on that. So if you want to just live throw me random year, random major right now, we'll see if I could get it.
How about the 2009 PGA?
2009 PGA Y.E. Yang at Hazeltine. That's when he beat Tiger.
Yeah, there you go.
Like that was a famous one, obviously. Like that was 2009. Just 2009. I'm not gonna do it. I won't do it. 2009 U.S. Open is the glove.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, Lucas Glover at Bethpage, my
Bethpage.
backyard. So that is, what I devote a lot of my energy to, reading Wikipedia articles, on the data sites, who played what, who won what. That's what I'm not good at many things in life, but random PGA Tour, events and things is where I really shine.
We need to go to Tom and Marty's and play trivia there, and maybe he'll throw in the PGA category.
I don't know if I told you, I'm having Tom and Marty's on Tib for the
hell yeah.
Bar.
Excellent.
That guy is very funny.
Yeah, he's the best.
And also, I'm a SUNY guy. I'm a fucking SUNY. My dad went to Binghamton. I went to Buffalo. He owns a bar in Binghamton. It's a big bar stool. So, I'm very much looking forward to Tom and Marty's coming on Tib for the Valspar in a couple weeks. Mark your calendar. Should be a great time. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'll be in the chat a half an hour early, talking a little music with RK.
That time I went late and you guys were just chatting it up.
That's what TIB's all about,
What it's all about. Last guy. I feel great about him this week, genuinely. He's not on the tip chart or anything. He might be a little bit popular. Hayden Springer, 120 to 1. I'm all over it. 8th at the Farmers, Jake Knaproot. I think Jake Knapp finished 8th as well, so there's some connection going on there. Again, this guy who, shot a sub-60 round over the summer.
That's right.
Had some good results in the fall, 8th at the Sanderson. Lost 5 on approach, 8 putting. Like, that's what I'm looking for. I want guys that can finish 8th, losing 5 strokes on approach. Like, that's very hard to do. I'm honestly pretty impressed. But, again, 120 to 1 with a top 10 recently, more than enough for me there. That's an easy one for me.
Yeah, no, you can't really argue against that. Like I said, in this field, you find one stat that you like for a guy, and you're good to go.
Yeah, anytime someone's like, should I bet someone, and they're over 80 to 1, I'm just like, yeah, sure. Like, it does not. I'm not going to talk you off a guy that high in odds. It's just very hard to do, to be honest.
Yeah. What are you excited to watch Vedanta at all? I think the par 5 number 6 going into the drivable par 4 number 7.
Some of the
exciting.
Best whole stretch in golf.
Yeah.
Like similar to like 3, 4, 5 at Shinnecock. Like that's
basically
the same. No, I mean, no. I mean, I'm happy one course, full field, 9:30 tee off. I'm a fan of that. That I like that track and Thursday, Friday, and everything. I don't. Another thing, friend's girlfriend. Do you ever not watch golf on Sunday? I'm like. No. I could not tell you the last event I missed. Every Sunday, I'm usually just hungover, laying on my couch watching golf.
Sunday
Whether
is
I have a guy in the mix
day.
or no, you have to work the next day. But
Sunday's easily my favorite day. Whether it's football, golf, it's one day.
Do you
where
like to have a couple cocktails on Sunday?
Depending on who I'm with or what's going on. I mean, I'm definitely down. I love brunch. So a little brunch, come back, drink some high noons, maybe put music videos on one TV, put the golf on the other, have yourself a day.
Dude, I'm jealous. Like I might move to Indiana to like hang with you to do that. That sounds sick. No, I don't, because I I don't like day drinking on Sunday or drinking on Sundays because I hate being hungover when I work. But to start your week on Monday with like a little bit of hungover, that's not the way I want to step into the week, unfortunately. But the times I've done it, it is very fun. But Sunday's your favorite day of the week?
Yeah, no, just because I can rot on the couch. It's the one day where I really don't do much of anything. Just order a pizza or DoorDash or whatever, and watch football, watch golf, do whatever.
Yeah, watch some NBA League
Yeah.
Pass. So so
I've always got League Pass on the second screen,
so
regardless.
so I'm not a huge NBA guy. I'm a Knicks fan, but I'm not a huge Knicks fan. I'm not huge NBA guy, but there seems to be a lot of chatter online and everything. The NBA's dead. The ratings are terrible. NBA sucks now. One, as a huge NBA guy, probably the biggest NBA fan I know, do you think those kind of negativities are valid? Do you think they have actual points, or do you think this is just like any other NBA season? Like, what's your current state of the union on the NBA?
So, All-Star weekend, the week of Valentine's and All-Stars always happens in the same week. One of my favorite weeks of the year. Always the best. Loved it forever. This All-Star weekend was rough. They tried to change the format of the game, and I actually, enjoyed the format of it, made it a little bit more competitive. But it was Kevin Hart doing stand-up every 5 minutes, and then Mr. Beast came in, and then they honored the TNT guys in the middle of the final game. Like, it was all a big production, and like I just wanted to watch ball. And I think that's where people are getting mad, where it's like all this other thing, and we're not getting to watch basketball. And then a lot of people complain about the stoppages for reviews and how long the end of the game takes and those type of things. And those have been valid complaints forever. But mostly it's like, if people want to watch NBA, they're going to watch it. If they don't want to, they're not gonna. It's nothing new for the past decade or so.
So you don't think anything's changed this year that people?
No, I just think people like to complain on the internet in general, right? And I think a lot of people complain and probably aren't watching.
I've never complained about anything on the
No,
internet.
no.
Like literally not once. Those tweets always do get me when someone replies like, "Dude, all the fuck you do on Twitter all day is just complain." I'm like, all right, like I'm not gonna argue with you there. I'm not like no beef really with that statement. But yeah, people do like to complain on Twitter. There's no doubt in my mind about that. So you don't think there's anything different about this NBA season than the other NBA seasons?
Not particularly. I mean, Embiid's still hurt like he always is, right? It just, like I said,
Bronny
people,
James.
yeah, people want to complain. The
NBA's gone
Pacers are
low.
playing better, which is exciting.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't talk more shit to me after they knocked out the Knicks last year.
Try to keep it classy
I'm not
as
enough
much as
of a Knicks
possible.
fan for
Right?
you
Yeah,
to
I know
talk shit.
you're not gonna
I'm
get
a fake
real
news.
worked up about it.
Just when Jay Twin's going off, like I'm a big fan, but I'm not gonna sweat over Rockets, Knicks like mid-season. I don't get up for that, unfortunately.
Well, my problem is I go to bed fairly early every night. So like mostly I only watch like the 7 o'clock games. So like I'm watching just a bunch of like Pistons and Hawks and Hornets, and it's not great.
Not bad, not good basketball.
No, but you got to have it on.
Yeah, it's tough. I guess you have to have it on. Well, it was a great pod. I'm glad you could join for the Mexico Open. We got some good events coming up. We got the Florida Swing. I think Honda's next week. So hope you have a great time in Florida. I hope your tan goes well before you get out there. I wish you success with the ladies in FL as well. I know we can't be bachelors forever, so I hope you have a great trip down there.
I appreciate you, dude. Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll see everyone next week for the Honda. I believe I'm like 99% is the Honda, but we'll be going for the Honda.